play with M and you coach with Phil and work with Kobe. What's the difference between those two, in your opinion?
Right hand.
Why?
Well, Kobe would be going to the line to shoot 2. MJ was going to shoot and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all, everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog shit.
I'm not letting people revise history. I'm not letting people come on and talk about Kobe like Kobe wasn't one of the best that not only played, but that came in as a 17-year-old against grown men. Not everybody could be Kobe.
All right, let's start with something that's been bothering a lot of real hoop fans lately: the death of the mid-range game. Back in the day, guys like Kobe, MJ, and T-Mac lived in that 15 to 20-foot zone. It was an art: footwork, fadeaways, one-dribble pull-ups. But now, analytics have taken over. Everything's either a 3 or a layup. And here's the crazy part: if Kobe was in the league today playing his exact same game, people on Twitter would probably say he's inefficient or taking bad shots. And that's where this conversation really begins, because when you disrespect the mid-range game, you're also disrespecting a whole generation of players who mastered it. It's not just about numbers. It's about timing, rhythm, confidence. DeMar doesn't buy into that inefficient narrative. In fact, he says when it matters most, the mid-range wins games.
Any championship team that you've watched win a championship, they win the game in the mid-range.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't give a how many threes you shoot.
And the sad part? Many young fans never saw that side of the game. They think basketball started with Steph's logo threes. But real ones know the mid-range wasn't just a shot, it was a weapon. And no one used it better than Kobe Bryant. And if anyone in today's league still carries that mid-range torch with pride, it's DeMar DeRozan. He's not just using the shot, he's preserving an art form Kobe passed down to him.
Well, I had the luxury at 16, 17 years old to work with Kobe.
Yep.
You know, so I had that cheat code to really just sit there and lock in and listen to him and really break down details and small movements and learning how to play in the phone booth and be able to get your shot off. You know what I mean? So I learned that early on.
Shaq recently downplayed Kobe again, saying he only thrived because defenders were focused on him, and claiming he could have won even more rings with T-Mac or Steph. That's not just confidence, that's shade. But not everyone stayed silent. Kyrie Irving saw the disrespect building from the media, the rankings, even other legends, and he wasn't having it. He exploded.
I'm not letting people revise history. I'm not letting people come on and talk about Kobe like Kobe wasn't one of the best that not only played, but that came in as a 17-year-old against grown men. And by the time this man was 22 years old, he had a few championships and he was busting the best of the best ass. If y'all don't knock that shit off, I'm talking to y'all at home, the fucking media talking heads, the ones that casually throw names around like, bro, if you don't knock it off, you weren't like that. It's okay. Not everybody could be Kobe. Not everybody could wear those size, you know what I mean, size shoes that he had. Yeah, I'm not going down into detail about this because what's said on the internet and the digital space is said. It's the internet. But when it comes to real respect and real recognizing real, this man, Kobe Bean Bryant, is immortalized not just because of his basketball. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, this man, he is way bigger because of the character, because of what we witnessed him go through. We didn't care if we didn't care about certain failures. The real Kobe fans didn't care about the failures. They didn't care about the naysayers. The real Kobe fans, the real Mamba fans that I'm talking to didn't care about who he was competing with. We know who fucked with Kobe and who didn't. I know who fucked with Kobe and who didn't. I'm not going to say I knew Kobe the best at all. I won't say that. You know, I'm not going to disrespect all his relationships. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is put respect where it's due, y'all. We know We know who Kobe fucked with.
He reminded everyone that Kobe came into the league at 17 years old, went toe-to-toe with grown men, and by 22, he already had multiple championships. D. Wade, a Hall of Famer who actually battled Kobe on the court, had the same reaction. To him, ranking Kobe at number 11 wasn't just wrong. It was insulting.
If you want to ask us hoopers who played against Kobe, we talking, all of us gonna talk top 3. Like we all gonna talk 3 if you played against Mamba. But from someone's opinion that's never played against Kobe, has never played a game of basketball at the level that we played at, having him at 11, okay. Why am I up in arms about something like that? I remember when Kobe was alive. They had rankings when he played in the league and they had him low. I remember one year Kobe addressed it. Like, who is these idiots? Like, why would I listen to these idiots? And I'm not calling the person who did this an idiot, but what I'm saying is when someone does something like that, Kobe was like, this is idiotic to me.
Kyrie Irving, they made it clear. This isn't just about basketball rankings. It's about recognizing what Kobe meant to the game, to the culture, and to millions of people. He wasn't just defending Kobe's skills. He was defending his character, his grind, and his legacy. And here's why Kyrie takes that so personally. Because for Kobe, Kyrie wasn't just a rising star. He was family.
Like you had MJ, who would be that mentee for you?
Yeah, I have a few of them. Kyrie certainly. I mean, I remember sitting on the couch at home after Cleveland came back from that 3-1 deficit and beat Golden State. And then my phone rings, and it's FaceTime call. And I'm like, I hate FaceTime calls. Like, don't FaceTime call me, unless it's my family, right? But it's Kyrie. Like, all right, let me pick it up. I pick it up, and Kyrie's in the locker room celebrating on FaceTime. Like, dude, it worked. Your advice worked. You know what I mean? Like, he's completely freaking out. And he's like, hey, Gigi. And Gigi's like, hey, congratulations. He's like, oh, my God. And, like, champagne spilling all over the place. So I was really, really proud of him. But so I'd say Kyrie's probably the one I'm closest to.
Kyrie Irving. He even said, we didn't care about Kobe's failures. The real fans stood by him. We knew who Kobe was, and we know who faked the love when he passed. Message was loud. Put some respect on Kobe's name. Stop comparing. Stop disrespecting. Just tell the truth. Kobe was different. All right, let's talk about rings. Because this is where the arguments always go. How many rings he got? That's the first thing people throw out when they want to crown a GOAT. But here's the truth. Rings don't tell the full story. Robert Horry has 7 rings, more than Kobe, Shaq, or LeBron. But nobody's putting him in the GOAT convo. Why? Because it's not just about winning. It's how you win, who you carried, and when you stepped up. Kobe won 5 rings, but he didn't ride the bench for them. He put his body on the line, played through injuries, and closed games when it mattered most. And it wasn't just about clutch shots or killer instinct. Kobe also made sacrifices for the team.
Phil calls me up to his office and says, Kobe, okay, I need you to dial it back. I'm like, why? Like, we're winning. I don't understand. It's because our goal is to win a championship. And we can get through the Western Conference with you playing this way. But in the East, we can dominate them inside with Shaq in the post. But if you continue to do this, we'll lose Shaq. We'll lose him.
His motivation, his excitement.
What triggers him, right? So I need you to pull back so we can pull Shaq forward for June. Wow. And I just looked at him like, man, this is one smart dude.
Wow, that's
yeah,
really smart.
Yeah, that's one smart dude, man.
People forget how much pressure he had after Shaq left, and yet he still delivered. So before you throw out a ring count like it's the final word, remember, context matters, leadership matters, and legacy? That's way deeper than a number. And that's the difference between how fans rank players and how hoopers do. Gilbert Arenas said it best. He wasn't born with everything. He built everything.
Stephen A. challenged that. What makes Kobe special in players' mind, in a player's mind himself? We don't go by your stats. We don't go by the accolades. We go by how the person played, what was his attributes, right? So when you think about the greatest players of all time, 90, 80% of them have God gift, natural talent, ability, body. Jordan, 48-inch vertical. You got the big hand. You got LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, and Magic 6'9" point guard with vision. Kobe, standard. If I give you every 6'6" guard in the NBA and NBA history, you would never find him. You would never find Kobe because he didn't have big hands. He wasn't quick. He wasn't fast. 38-inch vertical, that's standard. And what he did with that body, it's like you took a S500 and he was pushing it like a Bugatti. That's what we look at. We look at the normal person fighting gods.
And for players, that's the rarest greatness of all. There's this pattern in the NBA that nobody really wants to talk about: veterans constantly disrespecting young players. It's like some older legends take it personal when a new generation comes up with their own style, their own path. Instead of guidance, they get shade. Instead of mentoring, they get mocked. Shaq didn't just go after rivals. He made it a habit to clown younger stars, and Dwight Howard was one of his favorite targets. And Kobe was one of the few legends who actually embraced the next wave, working out with Tatum, helping Giannis, supporting Devin Booker. But Shaq went after Dwight Howard for years, on podcasts and interviews everywhere, calling him soft, calling him out over and over. So let's stop with the comparisons and start respecting each player's journey, because the real greatness lies in writing your own legacy.